To draw near to the truth, one must have a heart like velvet. Every soul learns softness in some way, some through an accident, some through illness, some through the pain of separation, some through loss of wealth. All of us pass through trials that give us the chance to dissolve the hardness in our hearts. Yet some understand the wisdom within these trials and soften, while others, alas, come out even harder. Shams Tabrizi. My friend, do you feel how the words of Shams cut straight into the center of your being? He does not speak of the ornaments of knowledge, nor of the grandeur of the intellect, but of the heart, that sacred mirror where the beloved's light may shine. To approach the truth, he says, your heart must be like velvet. Can you taste the sweetness of that? Velvet, soft, tender, welcoming to touch, without resistance. Imagine your heart in such a state, without walls, without thorns, without armor. What else could the truth desire but to dwell in such a place? And yet, life does not hand us softness as a gift wrapped in silk. Life teaches us softness by breaking us. Life whispers gentleness through the thunder of trials. Some fall from the heights of health into illness. Some lose the warmth of their beloved and walk through the long desert of separation. Some watch their wealth, their status, their pride crumble into dust. And in each moment of breaking, there lies an invitation. Will you let this pain soften you, or will you allow it to harden you further? Shams, the wandering son, saw this again and again. He knew the soul is not shaped by comfort, but by fire. He knew that every wound is a door, every loss is a teacher. He knew that the heart must be pressed, like the grape beneath the stone, so that wine may flow. The bitter taste of suffering is often nothing more than the sweetness of awakening in disguise. But how, my friend, do we walk this path of softness? How can you, in this modern age where speed and noise drown out silence, where the world teaches you to guard your heart with iron walls, learn to be velvet before the beloved? The answer is simple, yet demanding. You must look into the mirror of your trials and see the friend's face there. Do not curse your illnesses, your losses, your betrayals. Instead, whisper to them, "You are my teacher. You are the chisel that carves away the stone from my heart." Rumi once said, "The wound is the place where the light enters you." Do you see how Shams' wisdom echoes here? The wound is not to be hidden, it is to be welcomed, for it softens the heart. Think of a man who has never lost, who has never been broken. His heart becomes stone, proud, impenetrable. But the one who has wept at midnight, who has sat at the grave of a loved one, who has been stripped of possessions, such a one knows tenderness. Such a one understands the fragility of all things. My dear companion, remember the story of Mansur al-Hallaj, who cried, "An al-Haq, I am the truth." They dragged him through the streets, tore his flesh, and crucified him. The people thought they were destroying him, yet each lash only softened his heart more, until nothing remained but love itself. To the world it was suffering, to him it was union. He saw the beloved in the face of his tormentors. He kissed the hand that struck him. Could such a thing be possible if his heart had not been velvet? Softness does not mean weakness. Do not mistake it. A soft heart is not a fragile heart. It is a heart that yields like water, and yet like water, wears down the hardest stone. It is a heart that forgives when it has every reason to condemn, that embraces when it has every reason to push away. The prophet, peace be upon him, was described as the most gentle of all beings, yet none was stronger in spirit. His strength was rooted in mercy. His victories were victories of compassion.
Perhaps, my friend, you too have known loss. Perhaps you carry the ache of separation in your chest. Do not hide it. Do not cover it in anger or bitterness. Instead, let it soften you. Let it remind you that all things in this world are passing, that the only permanence is the beloved. When wealth slips through your fingers, when health abandons your body, when friends betray you, ask yourself, what is left? And the answer, if your heart is velvet, will always be, love remains. Shams speaks of those who pass through trials and harden. You have seen them. A man loses his fortune, and instead of gratitude, he becomes bitter, blaming the world, cursing fate. Another is betrayed in love, and instead of opening to forgiveness, he vows never to love again, building iron walls around his heart. They walk away from the same fire that could have refined them, carrying instead the smoke of resentment. Do not be like them, my friend. If fire comes, let it make you gold, not ash. Yunus Emre sang, "Love is the essence of all faith. Without love, what use is worship?" Love cannot live in a hard heart. Love suffocates behind walls. Only when the heart is velvet can love move freely, like wind through an open field. Do you long for the taste of that love? Then begin with softness. Begin with gentleness toward yourself, gentleness toward others. Begin by letting pain be your teacher. In our modern lives, we are trained to escape discomfort. At the first sign of pain, we reach for distraction. Music, screens, food, endless noise. But the Sufi way teaches us to sit with pain, to listen to its message. Pain is not your enemy, it is your companion. It says, "Come closer. There is something you must learn." Do not run. Sit, breathe, and ask, what is this pain softening in me? Think of Abd al-Qadir al-Jilani, who taught his disciples that the path to God is paved with surrender. He endured humiliation, poverty, and countless trials, yet he spoke of them as gifts. He said, "Every blow of hardship is the polishing of the mirror of the heart. So too are your hardships. The polishing may feel rough, but the mirror that emerges reflects the beloved's light." And you, dear friend, what is your mirror like today? Do you see dust upon it? Do you see cracks? Do not despair. The beloved does not demand perfection, only sincerity. If you come with a heart like velvet, even torn velvet, he will come near. Even the smallest softness can be the seed of divine union. So when Shams says the heart must be velvet, he is not offering a sweet metaphor. He is giving you the key to the gate. If your heart is stone, the gate remains closed. If your heart is velvet, it swings open, and the truth steps in like a guest who has been waiting all your life. And now I ask you, friend, are you willing to be softened? Are you willing to let go of the armor that has protected you for so long? I know the world has hurt you. I know you have scars. But what if those scars are the very openings through which God will pour His mercy? What if the thing you most fear losing is the thing you must surrender to find the beloved? My friend, do not be afraid of softness. I know the world tells you to be strong, to guard yourself, to hide your tears. But in truth, tears are pearls in the ocean of the soul. Each tear shed in longing, each tear shed in surrender is more precious than gold. The mystics knew this. Rumi wept until his chest was a river. Yunus Emre sang until his voice was soaked in tears. Shams burned in longing until his very presence melted hearts. Do not suppress your tears. Let them fall, for they are the rain that waters the garden of your heart.
Softness does not make you powerless, it makes you receptive. It opens you to see God in all things. When your heart is velvet, even the harsh words of an enemy can become a message from the beloved. Even the loss that shatters you can become the doorway into presence. Do you remember the prophet Joseph, peace be upon him? Sold by his brothers, cast into a well, imprisoned without fault. Yet he emerged not bitter, not hardened, but radiant. His trials softened him until his heart was velvet enough to forgive those who betrayed him and to say, "No blame shall be upon you this day." That is the fruit of softness. Think too of Ibrahim ibn Adham, the king who abandoned his throne to seek the truth. He could have remained hardened by power, by wealth, by pride. Yet one night, as he slept upon silk sheets, he heard footsteps on the roof of his palace. "Who is there?" he called, and the stranger replied, "I am searching for my camel." Ibrahim laughed. "How can you find a camel on a palace roof?" And the stranger said, "And how can you find God upon a throne?" His heart softened at once. He abandoned his crown and walked barefoot into the path of the dervishes. My friend, the lesson is clear. The velvet heart is not bound by crowns or gold. It is bound only by love. But you may ask, how can I, living in this world of noise, cultivate such a heart? The answer lies in remembrance. Zikr, the constant remembrance of the beloved, softens the heart more than anything else. Each repetition of his name is like a hand caressing velvet, smoothing the fibers of the soul. Each moment of remembrance polishes away hardness. Do not think remembrance is only with the tongue. True remembrance is with the heart. Even when your lips are silent, let your soul whisper, "Beloved, beloved." And in moments of hardship, when life cuts you open, remember Shams' words. Ask yourself, am I becoming softer or am I becoming harder? The choice is always yours. Do not resist the hand of God when He carves you. Do not cling to the stone of pride, the walls of anger, the chains of fear. Allow yourself to melt, to yield, for what melts is absorbed into the ocean. The Sufi path is the path of melting. You are ice, frozen by ego, by fear, by illusion. The Beloved's fire comes not to destroy you, but to return you to water. And water, my friend, is velvet in form. It yields, it adapts, it nourishes. It flows around every obstacle. This is the heart of the mystic. Remember the story of Rabia al-Adawiyya, the great woman saint. She carried a torch in one hand and water in the other. When asked why, she said, "I want to burn down paradise and extinguish hell so that people will love God for His own sake." Do you see the softness of her heart? She wished to remove fear and greed, leaving only pure love. That is velvet. That is what Shams calls us toward. And now I ask you, what are the walls around your heart? Where have you become stone? Is it the betrayal of a friend? Is it the loss of someone you loved? Is it the humiliation of failure? Whatever it is, do not let it harden you. Let it be the very thing that melts you. Hold it gently and say, "You are my teacher." If you can do this, if you can let your trials soften you, then you will find God closer than your jugular vein. You will find Him in the smile of a stranger, in the cry of a child, in the silence of dawn. The velvet heart does not wait for miracles. It sees every breath as a miracle. It does not demand proof. It lives in trust.
Friend,
Shams's words are not only a teaching, they are an invitation. He is calling you to lay down your armor, to stop fighting life, to embrace even the pain that visits your home. When you resist, you suffer. When you soften, you transform. That is the secret. That is the key. And so let us walk together in this. The next time pain comes, do not push it away. Welcome it as a guest. Say, "Come, you are sent by the Beloved." Sit with it, listen to it. And you will see how slowly, gently your heart begins to soften. And in that softness, you will feel the presence, the warmth of love that has always been there, waiting. And now, my dear companion, I leave you with this. Soften your heart, for the truth longs to dwell there. Let the trials of life be your teachers. Let the fire of suffering refine you into gold. And when you feel the tears rise, do not hide them. Let them water the garden of your soul. If this journey has touched you, if these words of Shams and the wisdom of the masters have awakened something in your heart, then walk with us further. Leave a comment. Share your reflections so we may learn together. And if this path of love and softness nourishes you, subscribe to this channel, for you are not alone on this road. We are companions in the same caravan, moving toward the same Beloved. And so, I bid you peace. May your heart be velvet. May your trials become your teachers. May your soul melt into love. And may the Beloved embrace you in every breath. Until we meet again, my friend, walk gently and remember, the truth is always near. My dear friend, the path of softness is not a path of ease, yet it is the only path that brings you close to the Beloved. Consider for a moment how the heart becomes hard. It is not born hard. Every child comes into this world with a heart like silk, tender, open, pure. A child trusts. A child forgives quickly. A child sees wonder in everything. But as years pass, life leaves its marks. Betrayals carve lines of fear. Failures erect walls of doubt. Disappointments pour the cement of bitterness, and soon the once soft heart becomes a fortress. Yet the Beloved does not dwell in fortresses. The Beloved dwells in gardens, and so life, in its secret mercy, sends storms to break down the walls. Illness comes not to punish, but to soften. Loss comes not to destroy, but to open. Suffering comes not to condemn, but to carve a channel for love. Think of Mevlana Rumi. When he was a respected scholar in Konya, his heart carried knowledge, but not yet the fire of love. Then Shams appeared like a lightning bolt in his sky. His meeting shattered him. The scholar was burned away. In his ashes, the poet was born. Without that breaking, we would not have the Masnavi. We would not have the songs of longing that have fed hearts for centuries. Softness came through fire. And you, my companion, perhaps you too await your Shams. Perhaps the Beloved will send a person, or perhaps a loss, or perhaps a silence that shakes you. Do not resist it. For every Shams that enters your life is an invitation to velvet.
Let us remember also the words of Ibn Arabi, who said, "My heart has become capable of every form. It is a pasture for gazelles, a monastery for monks, a temple for idols, the Kaaba of the pilgrim. I follow the religion of love. What is he teaching us here, if not the ultimate softness? A heart so tender, so open, that it can hold all creation within it. This is not the narrow heart of judgment, not the hardened heart of pride, but the vast, velvet heart of love. Now, reflect on your own life. Have you ever met someone whose presence felt like shade on a hot day? Someone whose gentleness was medicine, whose eyes carried understanding, whose silence itself comforted you? Such people are proof of what a velvet heart looks like in human form. They are not saints from distant centuries. They are among us even now. And you too can become one of them. The secret is softness. But how do we move from hardness to softness? There are steps, my friend, and each one demands courage. The first is honesty. You must admit the hardness in yourself. Perhaps you hold anger against someone. Perhaps you nurture resentment toward life itself. Perhaps you fear to love again. Admit it. The Sufis say, awareness is the first step to healing. If you deny your hardness, it will rule you. If you acknowledge it, it begins to dissolve. The second step is remembrance. Remember the beloved in every breath. When you wake, whisper his name. When you eat, whisper his name. When you suffer, whisper his name. His name is a balm, softening even the hardest fibers of the heart. The third step is service. When you serve others, your heart softens. Feed the hungry, comfort the grieving, visit the lonely. Every act of service shaves away a layer of stone. Yunus Emre said, "We came into this world for love. The job of ours is to love and be loved." Service is love in action. The fourth step is surrender. Life will not always move as you desire, but each time you surrender your will to the greater will, softness grows. Haji Bektash Veli taught his disciples, "Be as humble as the earth, so that everyone may walk over you, and you complain not." This is not humiliation, this is surrender. To be earth is to nourish, to carry, to receive without resistance. And the fifth step is gratitude. Gratitude is the song of the velvet heart. When you can give thanks even in hardship, even in loss, you have truly softened. Gratitude transforms wounds into blessings, turns storms into rain for your garden. Let us pause here and look at our modern world. Everywhere people seek strength in hardness. Nations build weapons, companies build empires, individuals build walls around their hearts. Yet has this hardness brought peace? Has it brought joy? No, my friend, it has only brought loneliness. For what is the worth of a hardened heart if it cannot love? You may work all your life to gather wealth, but if your heart is stone, you will taste none of its sweetness. You may rise in power, but if your heart is hard, your throne will be empty. You may surround yourself with people, but if your heart is closed, you will feel alone, even in a crowd.
Softness is the true wealth. Softness is the true throne. Softness is the true companionship. And it is free, available to anyone who dares to yield. Think of the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, when he entered Mecca as a conqueror. His enemies stood trembling, expecting revenge. But what did he say? "Go, you are free." This was the softness of a velvet heart, greater than any sword, more powerful than any army. That softness won more hearts than force ever could. Now, turn inward, friend. Ask yourself, What keeps me from softness? Is it fear? Fear that if I soften, I will be hurt again? Remember, hurt is not the end. Hurt is the door. Is it pride? Pride whispers, "Do not bend, do not yield." But pride is a prison, and only softness sets you free. Is it anger? Anger hardens the heart like iron, but forgiveness melts it like snow in spring. Perhaps it is time to forgive, not for them, but for you. Forgive and feel the iron melt. Forgive and feel the walls crumble. Forgive and discover velvet within. The heart that is velvet is not only soft for God, but soft for all creatures. Such a heart cannot crush an insect without trembling. Such a heart cannot ignore the cry of the poor. Such a heart cannot remain unmoved by the suffering of another. And yet, such a heart also knows joy more deeply, laughter more freely, peace more fully. Do not imagine that to be velvet is to live without pain. No, friend, softness feels pain even more sharply, but it also transforms pain into love. The dervish may weep at night, but in the morning his face shines like dawn. He has been softened by tears, and so he becomes light for others. And so I urge you, do not fear softness. Seek it, cultivate it, welcome it. Every time life breaks you, remember Shams's words. This is your chance to soften. Do not waste it. Do not walk away harder. Choose to be velvet. At the end of your life, when you stand before the Beloved, He will not ask how strong you were, how much you earned, how high you climbed. He will ask, how soft was your heart? Did you let my love dwell there? Did you open yourself to others? Did you melt in me? Let this be your measure. Let this be your path. And if ever you forget, return to Shams. Return to his voice, whispering across centuries. To draw near to the truth, your heart must be velvet. My friend, if these words awaken something in you, if they remind you of the softness you already carry within, then I invite you to continue walking with me. Share your reflections. Leave your heart's voice in the comments, so we may journey together. And if this path of love and tenderness nourishes you, subscribe to this channel, because this way is not walked alone. We are companions, seekers, lovers of the same Beloved. May peace be upon you. May your heart soften with every trial. May your tears become pearls of wisdom. May your soul melt into love until nothing remains but the Beloved.